Hi everyone, it is Q&A time. Thank you so much for all the questions that you submitted. I got so many of them and I'm so excited to answer them for you guys. I'm sorry if I don't get to your questions, but I will make sure to answer them in another capacity if I could. And it is a long overdue video, but I hope you guys like it. So without further ado, let's jump right into the questions. Okay, so for this first question, I got several variations of this question. The question is, what was the very first game you played as a kid that you remembered? So I don't know if I remember the very first game I played as a kid. So my younger brother was more of a gamer than I was. I was just kind of his audience. So I remember him playing Super Mario and stuff like that. But the game that I played with him that I could remember was Dynasty Warriors 3 on the PlayStation 2. And I really enjoyed this game. My favorite character in that game was Dakiao. She has these two fans for every of her attack, and she's pretty cute. She has a skirt on as well. Alright, on to the next question. How old are you? Well, I am 27, and I'm sure probably most of you guys already know this. Alright, so the next question is, I still use Nexus mods because as a user standpoint, Nexus is the most user-friendly one, especially if you're trying to find a specific mod for your specific needs. As a modder, how do you feel about that? About users who still prefers Nexus mods? Because to be honest, at this point, I kind of feel bad while using it, but it's just so easy to use. Okay, so I don't think there's anything wrong with using Nexus mods as a user, since Nexus mods is a monopoly that attracts all sorts of users from around the world. It's no surprise that they will never see eye to eye with everyone. As a user, it's definitely the best, hence the monopoly. But as an author, just in my opinion, they are definitely taking advantage of their monopoly and taking decisions that will be controversial. As a user, I like Nexus mods. As a modder, I would stay 9,000 feet away from them. Okay, next question. Will you ever do more body outfit tutorials? Yes, of course. I want to do some of the more advanced stuff like manual slider editing and how to preserve SMP on outfit if porting from LE-SMP. Okay, somebody asked, did you start working on mods alone, and were you planning from the beginning on creating a community? Secret question with a difficult answer. With a lot of hot mods, are you horny or not horny? Alright, it's a loaded question. I will start with the first one, or first part. Pretty much, yes, I started alone, just by myself. Although my first official actual mod was a poser mod for Fallout 4, I received a lot of assistance from a user named Dave the Drunk on how to use 3ds Max. I never really planned on making a community. I did have a really old Discord server back in 2018, which is now disbanded. But I didn't really think I'd gather such a supportive community. So you guys are really great to me. And for the secret question, I am the epitome of anti-horny. Imagine being turned on by a 3D mesh. Alright, on to the next question. Do you like Megumin? Megumin is funny but useless with her one spell skill. I like Aqua better because she has unlimited mana, buffs, and unlimited revives. Oh my god, this one is spicy. How many times do you masturbate in a week? Ooh, I will leave that up to your imagination. Go as wild as you can. Okay, the next one. What is your bust, waist, and hip size? Interesting. Well, how about this? I will give you one number and you can guess the rest. So the one number that I will give you, hint, this one's in the middle, and it is 60. Or I guess, I will give you kind of like the units as well. It's 60 centimeters. Alright, so what was your first experience with modding games in general? Do you have a dream mod that you would like to make one day that is currently out of your skill range or is not yet technically possible? Have a great day. Aw, this person's so cute. Alright, so my first experience was Fallout 4. It was a face preset mod I published December 2016. There was a pose mod and several outfits for Fallout 4. I got bored with Fallout 4 and moved to modding Zelda Breath of the Wild for a few months. Modding Zelda is extremely complicated and I stopped, so I moved on to Skyrim SE around early 2017 or 2018, I don't remember anymore. Yes, I have a dream mod. That dream mod is currently a fully fleshed out quest follower with unique dialogue and story. It's out of my skill set right now because I don't have an understanding of how questing works in the creation kit, not to mention developing a storyboard for the quest so that I have a roadmap of my direction. Okay, this is a very random question, but it's so cute, I want to answer it. How are you? I am doing well, just very busy. Okay, the next one. How long have you played the Elder Scrolls V? Do you want a theoretical number or the exact time? I have been playing it since 2017, but my actual playtime according to Steam is 1,766 hours, mostly mod testing to be honest. Alright, the next question is, of all the hobbies you could have possibly had, what experience got you into Skyrim modding of all things? Well, so I was always really into role-playing games like Sims 2. I knew about Skyrim when it first came out for Xbox 360 when my brother played it. After graduating college, I started working graveyard shift 12 hours a day and essentially couldn't do anything at night. So I decided to first play Fallout 4 as my first decent roleplay game. After I got tired of Fallout 4, I switched to playing Breath of the Wild. After I got bored with that, I moved to Skyrim Special Edition and never looked back. I started modding because I would request authors to port outfits and everyone ignored my requests. So I decided to be the change I wanted to see. So if Todd finally gives us Elder Scrolls 6 and the modding capability is the same as Skyrim, would you ever potentially consider making mods for it? Interesting question. If the circumstances of my life generally go well, then most likely. Although I hope it releases within the next 2 years because otherwise it'd be hard to gauge my likelihood of modding for it. I guess if the community really wants me to, it's most likely an 80% yes that I will mod for it. The next question is, what keeps you motivated to keep producing the armor outfit mods? You guys! Without the mod user, the mod author is useless. Hearing praise is my weakness and seeing people take screenshots of my ports is super exciting. Also, the community engagement via YouTube and Discord is super fun. So somebody asked about Sundance. When will Sundance be making a return? We need more music. I do want to do more singing covers, but the problem with that is the copyright. I either need to find songs that don't have copyright or find instrumentals that are free from copyright, but sometimes it's hard to get away from the YouTube punishments. How did you get into making mods? So my modding journey was a combination of boredom, finding an outlet for stress, and getting my porting requests denied. I think I kind of touched on that in a question earlier, but yeah, like I just finally took the plunge when I decided to do it and port the outfits I wanted after my requests being denied by authors. The excitement you get from your first creation is a high that you constantly want to chase, and it just all spirals from there. Okay, so the next question is, what would you consider to be the best Skyrim mod of all time, not counting ones like SKSE? Wow, this is a tough one. I would say my must-have in any load order would have to be something gameplay related, which for me would have to be true direction movement. This mod really changed how I play Skyrim, and it really made it feel like a new game. But it's kind of not fair to give a recent mod the title greatest of all time. If we're talking about something that's older, then I would say it has to be Colorful Magic. This mod adds crazy amounts of unique enemies, weapons, and spells. It's a must-have for me. Do you like anime at all? If so, what's your favorite one? I used to be a super big anime fan, and I watched it a lot pre and post college. These days, I don't really watch it anymore. It's been more than a year since I've last seen anime. At that time, I would have to say that my most favorite one would be Death Note, only because it has infinite replayability. Death Note will never get boring. I think I rewatched it like 5 or more times. Okay, the next question is, would you ever post a face preset from your character? Usually my presets are based off of ones from ArcaLive. I usually do some minor edits, but I can link the ones from ArcaLive. Okay, so the next question is, how tall are you? I am 5'6". And yeah, I don't think I've answered that question before, so that's probably news to you guys. Yeah, I'm not too short and not too tall. What do you think about the next re-release of Skyrim? I'm going to assume you're talking about Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Yeah, I think nothing about it. Waste of time and won't actively mod for it. I heard it can work with current mods, but who knows, maybe outfits will be fine. The next question is, hey Sun, I'm a big fan of your work, so you're probably familiar with the mod author Desert X. They are making amazing, sometimes not safe for work armor sets. You've probably gotten requests from people to convert their outfits to 3BA in the past. My question is, how likely is that to happen? Have you asked them for permission and they said no? Thank you for answering my question. I've worked with Desert X in the past, converting his outfits and sometimes even adding SMP. But out of nowhere, I was ghosted and they found another converter. The story ends there. Will I ask them for permission for future ports? Probably not, but I'm sure there are others that are already interested as a learning opportunity. I know there's a compendium on Nexus with several 3BA ports of his armors. Alright, for the next question, what is your favorite topic, subject, or thing from Elder Scrolls lore? You already know the answer, I bet. All the mysterious things about Elder Scrolls that is never explained is what interests me. For sure, it has to be the drummer. I remember I spent hours reading on this history and lore. By extension, I was also interested in the history of the farmer, considering they were just normal elves. I kind of hope there's an Elder Scrolls game down the line where snow elves are a playable race. Interestingly, I have had a few questions on this one. Well, not a few, I think like 2 or 3 or something. Pineapple on pizza, yay or nay? Dangerous question, I know. Yeah, I've got some sort of variations of this question too, and this is kind of funny. Well, I told you guys that I would be honest answering your question, so here it is. Yes, 100%. I love pineapples on my pizza. And I know it's controversial, but I just love them on my pizza. Okay, play Skyrim. Do you constantly find yourself in horny jail? Nope. My libido is so low, not even Skyrim can break it. But it doesn't mean I don't like the aesthetics. Okay, for the next question. Which non-armor related mods for Skyrim are your favorites and why? Which one of your ports conversions was the most challenging for you? What's your favorite food or drink to enjoy while you work? My favorite non-armor related mods for sure have to be texture replaces. If we are getting specific, then it would have to be Clever Sharp's textures for Skyrim. The textures provide a unique interpretation of Skyrim for a new feeling of gameplay. My hardest port conversion would have to be my Nidenrim outfit pack. Not only was it a conversion of 98 outfits each with 4 or more pieces, but also made the mod more interesting by creating a new interior to house the outfits, creating the display stands for the armor, and playing around with unique weapons. This mod encompassed several skills into one pack, many of which was a first for me. This pack was the most difficult, but at the same time, the most fun. And last question. My favorite drink and or snack. Well, this is an Easter egg that I will leave for you guys. Put your guess in the comments below. And the hint is you guys have seen me drink this in one of my videos. Well, obviously not like me, but you know what I mean. Okay, so the next question. Where did you develop your great skills and imagination? YouTube. YouTube is the answer to all. I just decided to watch tutorial after tutorial and went from there. Of course, practice also matters. My first initial conversions were so trash, but we all have to start somewhere, right? So eventually you develop your own workflow and it goes from there. Can be frustrating at first, but the feeling of accomplishment and the praise from community is worth it at the end. Wow, that was longer than expected, but that was all for our Q&A session today. Thank you very much for all of your questions. I am sorry I didn't get to your questions. I will make sure to answer them in the next video. I think I will probably do another video soon for the Q&A session, but obviously I want to mix in some other contents as well, so it's probably not going to be immediately after this one, but keep those questions coming. You can put those questions in the comments below, or you can tweet them to me as well. I welcome all the questions and I will gather all of them and try and answer them in the next video. So thank you so much again for watching. I love you guys and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.